We just recently fired somebody, and we had a meeting with this guy, and the conversation was very simple. You know, he's insurance, all the stuff that he's doing, and I'm talking to this guy, and I said, look, you have to realize there's one thing that's very clear about you. We're very patient with you. It's been many years, but your attitude has never changed. It's been the same, and it's not attractive. The reason why you keep losing friends, family members, your bro, your relationship don't work out, you keep losing jobs. You had 30 jobs the last 12 years. It is not the 30 companies' fault. It's not your ex's fault. It's not your friend's fault. It's your attitude. It's not attractive. It pushes people away. You know what's the craziest thing about attitude? It forgives people. You become forgiven. Why? Because people will look at you and they'll, how many guys have no clue how an annuity works? Raise your hand. Raise your hand for like, dude, if I ask you to come on stage right now and teach us about an annuity, you're like, dude, I would screw that thing up. How many guys, there's no way you know how an annuity works. Okay, great. But you know what happens? Here's what happens. You sit in front of a client. Client asks you, so I've heard about this annuity thing. What do you know about it? And you say, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not an expert in that area, but I do work with a team of experts. But I would do nothing. I'd be more than glad to get the best person to help answer all your questions for you. Is that okay with you? Absolutely. They're like, this guy, I just asked him a buying question. He knows nothing about annuities, but man, I love his honesty and his attitude. Freaking amazing. Everybody lies here. I'd love to talk to the team of experts. Attitude allows people to forgive your lack of knowledge, and they're patient with you. An unattractive attitude, no one's going to forgive you, because at least I can drop down and say, I like this guy's attitude. I bought a car the other day. Jennifer and I would go to this dealership. We go in, and this guy comes up, and I'm looking at this guy, and he walks like this, and it's me, Jen, Papa, Senna, Dylan, Tico, and Brooklyn. So Jen's nursing the baby in the back, and we go into this Porsche dealership. For her birthday, she wanted to think about buying a Cayenne. So we go in, and I walk in, and I see this GT3 Porsche 992. Oh my God, purple, gorgeous. And I go in, and I'm just wearing regular clothes, and this guy with a blue shirt, perfect hair, Caucasian, about 6'1", and the kids decide to play tag. In the dealership, they're playing tag. Are these your kids? Yes. Can you tell me how much this Porsche is right here? Are these your kids? How much is this Porsche? It says $224,000 on the ticket. Yes, but you have to add another $125 because it's a limited edition car. I said, can I get a key to sit inside of it to see if I fit? I don't have the keys, our powers are down. I said, oh, sir, can you please tell your kids to calm down, please? Now, don't get me wrong, he's got a point, because Senna was like a mess, but still, there's a way of saying it. So I said, look, my wife would like to take a look at a Cayenne. We're all sold out. We don't have anything in inventory. You have to wait 6 months. So there's zero effort. So I'm like, can you show it to me anyways? At this point, I'm getting a little annoyed. He says, yes, follow me. So I follow him. I'm like, I just want to trip the guy real quick. I'm like, let me just trip this guy. You know, I'm like, follow me. It's like, I'm like, that's like 12 years old. I'm not going to do that. So I follow him because I have to set a good example for these kids. But in my mind, I tripped him. I swear to God, in my mind, he fell. It's pretty bad. So I follow him, and we go in, and I see the car. He says, this is the car. And I said, can we sit inside of it? I told you we're sold out. Can you check to see if this one's sold out? Yes, I'll be back. So he goes into the other showroom. Oh my God. And then so I go, I'm trying to see if this is a cultural thing. So front desk clerk, how are you? Very good, how are you? Fantastic, where are you from? Romania. Oh, no way, when I was in Germany at refugee camp, I spent a lot of time with Romanians. Yes, we were all trying to get away from that socialism that they're trying to sell here in America. Can you believe it? I'm like, I love you, you're so amazing. So her and I are like, this lady's awesome, in her late 50s, early 60s, and we're like having a great conversation together. Then I look at this guy, he's talking to these two girls over there in the other lot through glasses. It's been 10 minutes now, he hasn't come back. So I go like this, what are you doing? So he's like, and he comes in. I was answering questions. I said, that was a 10-minute answer? Is that what it was? This car's available. And then Jen walks in with Brooklyn. I said, baby, go ahead and sit in this car, see if you like it. So I'm watching how he's talking to Jen. Oh my God, guys, he's driving me nuts at this point. So she sits in the car, Senna gets in, and the top window they open up. You know the top, what do you call it, sunroof stuff? And she goes on the center, what do you call it, center console? Center, what is it? And she goes like this. And I'm like, oh, keep doing it. Just go like this. Scratch that car, right? And she's jumping. Sir, tell your daughter to stop. I'm like, Senna, please stop. Please stop, Senna. Thank you, Senna. So she gets down and he says, did that answer your question for you? I said, yes. I said, babe, look, I would never buy a car from this guy. I'm looking at him, I'm like, never buy a car from you, so we leave. So walking, I'm just like, babe, let's just go to the Miami dealership. It's okay. We're walking, I see this Audi QS8, black 2022. I'm like, oh my babe, look how sick this car is. Babe, this thing looks good. I always liked Audis. So I go inside, I said, hey, is that Audi for sale? It is. Can I take a look at it? Sure, let me get a salesperson for you. They call the salesperson. And I see a guy, you ever seen like in these movies, slow motion, where what's that movie, Couples Retreat, where the guy comes up, what's his name? Do it, come on, you know what I'm talking about, right? So this guy shows up, and he's walking. He walks like this. Hey, papi, how can I help you? Right? I'm like, papi, where are you from? Puerto Rico. I said, okay, how big's your family? I got 4 kids. I said, is this thing for sale? Yeah. Mommy, you want to drive it? So now he's talking to Jim. Yeah. Mommy, come with me. Let's go. Let me see your ID. So he's calling me papi. He's calling her mommy. He gets the key. He says, let me just see your license. He gets the license. Here's the key. Just go for it. I says, you're not going to come with me? No, take the car. Jane gets in the car, leaves by herself. So I start talking to this guy. I said, what's your story? He says, I was living in LA. I've always been in the restaurant business, but my wife didn't like the fact that I was coming home at 2 o'clock. She didn't know what I was doing. She said, you got to come a little early, so I went into car sales. And I came over here. I said, so tell me about that Porsche inside, the GT3. Oh, the GT3? What about it? He said $125,000 markup. I'm not paying a number like that. He said, I wanted to send inside, but he couldn't get the keys. He says, let me see what I can do. He goes. Jen still test driving. He comes back. He says, he's right, the power's out. But, papi, I went to the owner's office. I got the keys. Don't worry about it. We're going to go inside of it. So great. So Jen comes. She gets out of the car, and Jen doesn't have a poker face. So I'm like, I ask an open-ended question, like I shouldn't ask her. I said, how'd you like the car? She's trying to say, babe, I don't like it, but I'm like, okay. So he leaves. I said, papi, can you give me a minute? He walks away. I said, babe, how'd you like it? Babe, I don't like it. I love it. I want this car. She's never reacted this way before. And by the way, I haven't bought a car from a dealership in 15 years because of the other German guy I dealt with. That's why I don't go to dealerships. I buy my brokers send me cars. I don't go to dealerships. But I like this papi guy. I like him a lot. So what do? I said, okay, what do you want to do? He says, come in. Hey, what's your final price on this? Papi, I have to make money with this. I said, listen, this is the number. I call my guy. He says, this is the number. Let me go talk to the owner. Goes inside. You buy right now, I give it to you for this number. Then I go inside, I'm like, what's this one? Oh, papi, that's the RS Q8. That's the 600 horsepower Lamborghini engine. That's the R8 of SUVs. This goes 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. I said, tell me your number on this. We never sat inside of it, never test drove it, never looked at anything, never opened the door. He says, let me talk to the owner, comes back. I said, I'll buy it. He looks at me, he's like, you don't want to think about it? No, I'll buy it. Okay, papi, let's go. I'm following him. I said, but I got 5 minutes. No problem, papi. Just come and sign this stuff. So I go to him. I sign the stuff. I leave. And I sit in the GT3 car, freaking amazing. Because I barely fit in this SF90. So I fit in this car, ridiculous. So we leave. The next day, he calls me because he's got to bring the car. I said, I don't want you to bring the car without a bow. He says, no problem. So he's on his way. I text him, did you get the bow? Oh, papi, I forgot. Let me see what I can do. He texts me back. I called everywhere. They don't have a bow. I said, in 2 minutes you called everywhere? So I called him. I said, don't bring the car. I said, first of all, your customer service there sucks. And I had a moment. He says, papi, what do you mean sucks? I did everything for you. Tell me why it sucks. Everything you've asked me, I've done for you. I said, don't bring the car without a bow. Okay, papi, let me see what I can do. Okay, hangs up. Text me 5 minutes later, I found the biggest white bow, I'm bringing it. I said, great. So the car shows up with the bow. Now he's confused. He's like, why is this guy upset at me? I've did everything for the guy. So he comes in the house. He says, hey, papi, can I ask you a question? Yeah. Why'd you say my customer service sucks? I did everything for you. I said, So when we walked in, there was another guy. White guy, blondish hair, tall, 6'1", blue shirt. Oh, he says the name. He says, yeah. I said, that guy didn't help us out. He was disrespectful. I didn't like it. And the customer service sucked. And that's why I said the reputation sucks at this place. He says, but Papi, that's how he is. Now it makes sense. So why does it make sense? He says, because yesterday when you left, he came to my desk and he says, are those people buying a car? He says, yeah, I got the credit card. They're buying this RSQ. He says, they're buying that car? He says, yes. He was so upset. Now I understand why. I said, I bought the car from you simply because of your attitude, period. And I referred him to John. Him and John are talking about another car right now. What's the moral of the story? Same dealership, same company, same car, same city, same location, same customer, two different attitudes. One guy made $5,000 commission, the other guy didn't make the commission. Why? Attitude. It's such a basic thing that we all can work on.